Yo, tuned in, it's that time again. Welcome to the show under the bright zen. Just another messenger bringing the news with the beat in your soul. Let's light up these views, we're diving deep. No time for snooze, grab your headphones. Let me share the clues in a world so loud where voices collide. We find the rhythm, let the truth be our guide. Hit that play button, feel the vibe. Every second counts, let's take that ride. From stories untold to laughs we share. Just another messenger, we're always there. Hi. It's a jam, just sit back and unwind. With our flow and our style, it's one of a kind. Like the mix, just like a DJ spins. We serve you the truth where the journey begins. It's a jam, we're all in this together. Sound waves licking us, no matter the weather. Just another messenger, we keeping it tight. With every single drop, we rise and ignite. Yeah.
Good day. I'm your host, Tamara L., and welcome to another installation of Just Another Messenger, where we raise the situational urgency and consciousness regarding today's current events. We'll dive deep into the historical past by examining the philosophies, legal system, and political decisions that continues to influence our daily lives. So please join the conversation during the episode. Your comment matters. Hit the subscribe, share, and like button to be a part of more thought-provoking conversation in the future. You wouldn't want to miss it. And don't forget to visit our website at www.justanothermessenger.com that connects you to all our social feeds, online merch store, and our link to support the work via Cash App at $JustAnotherMessenger. So let's get started. All right. Good evening. Let's get started here on our special Friday episode. And we're going to get into why we had to move to our regular scheduled program from Wednesday to today. We're going to tie that all into the episode for today. So welcome back, our beautiful souls and seekers of truth, to season 2, episode 4 of Just Another Messenger. And I'm your host, Tamara L. And we're broadcasting off our regular scheduled program from Wednesday that normally occurs at 8 p.m. So just hold tight and I'll fully explain why we had to move it from that time to tonight. So tonight we're stepping into a truth older than any empire, older than any scripture, and older than any council that ever claimed the authority to define reality. Now, it's a truth that has lived in the night sky. It's hidden behind government calendars. It's encoded in rituals that they practice but never explain. Now, quietly, by the oldest mother of the cosmic law, known as Isis. Now, the ancients calls her the initiator. It's the black rite, not because it was dark, but because it was hidden. Now, the ritual of the night, the veil of the goddess, the doorway where illusion collapses and sovereignty is reborn. Yes, this rite wasn't superstition. It was the curriculum of power and still the curriculum to today. This is where the kings learn to govern. This is the way the priesthood learned the time of their law. This is the way that civilizations align themselves with the heavens before they dare to rule the earth. Now, and here's the secret. Here's the secret behind this. Governments still do this today. It's still going on today. And they still follow the sky. They still legislate by the cosmic timing, the solstice, the equinoxes, the full moons, the planetary alignments. They don't just call it astrology, but they use it as if their survival depends on it. Oh, yes, it does, because the survival of all of us depends on it. And what the ancients knew, and what you're going to know, is that these modern systems hide, that they hid, is that the night governs the day and the stars governs the state. Yes, The stars governs the states. Now, there are two constitutions here we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the one that's running the world and the one written on paper and the one that's written in the heavens. So the first controls the citizens and the second one controls the empires, which means tonight we're going to bring the two together and we're going to decode the cosmic blueprint behind the law, the power, and the political ritual. We're going to expose the Zodiac the government still follows, the Zodiac that was born in the temple of Isis and buried beneath the empires that hope we'll never remember. We are remembering tonight. And I am Tamara L., and this is the Hidden Zodiac and the government. So hold on and stay tuned. All right, we have our housekeeping tips going on here. Let's look at our housekeeping tips we got. All right, continue to hit that like, share, and subscribe button over on Just Another Messenger on our YouTube page. Also follow us on X at JAM _ 404 podcast. And if you are someone would like to be a part of the show, please send a friendly email to Just Another Messenger podcast at gmail.com. And don't forget to continue to support, and we'd like to thank our supporters that has supported in the past and continue to support today. Continue to support our alternative news because we've got to keep this going through our Cash App at $ Just Another Messenger. And we'd like to thank those who come in on my personal Facebook page at Tamara L, as well as those on the YouTube page. And we have our first responder, Wayne Brabe. Thanks for speaking on this confusing topic. Absolutely. We're going to get into this thing tonight. And before we do that, let's go ahead and hello, Angela Freeman 511. Thank you. Hello, and thank you for tuning in. And as you know, I love a really good PowerPoint presentation. I mean, I love a good PowerPoint presentation. So get your pens and paper together. We're going to remove that and we're going to get into this. Before we do that, let's do this. Let's give a disclaimer because, YouTube always like to hit me at the end of the broadcast with a copyright strike. So Just Another Messenger is a platform dedicated to public education, historical awareness, cultural critique, and transformative discussions on the protection of Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Act of 1976, commonly referred to as fair use. Just Another Messenger does not provide statutory counseling for any United States color of law jurisdictional proceedings. Now, the content presented by Just Another Messenger may include excerpts of copyrighted material, such as images, audio, video, and written works, for the purpose of criticism, commentary, news reporting, education, scholarship, and research. All such usage is non-commercial in nature and intended to stimulate public discourse, raise consciousness, and support transformative learning. We do not claim ownership over any third-party copyrighted material used. All rights and credit belong to the original creditors. Now, if you are the copyright holder of any material featured and have concerns regarding its use, please contact us directly via the email that we have published earlier for prompt resolution. All right, let's get into this. This is why were not featured on Wednesday episode. We had just came out of 1111 portal, the 1111 frequency portal. And let's be clear about this. We're going to be very clear about this. This episode is not about astrology and numerology alone. It's about the hidden space that the indigenous people that has been labeled Black, Negro, Colored, African American, and all racial construct has unknowingly endured for hundreds of years and even up to today, 11/14/2025. So let's look at this frequency first. We must start here with the master number 11, and it isn't a regular number. It operates as a higher voltage. Now, this is also a spiritual frequency. Not just like a calculation like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, master number 11 is the frequency of the awakened messenger, the soul who come to illuminate, to reveal, and to shift the consciousness for generation. It's the number of the people who we don't just see the world. they see the change through it. So on Wednesday, on the 11/11 portal, it was so illuminated, and I was myself was going through a manifestation time period of that time. So I didn't have the energy for 11/20 broadcast. So we're here today. So let's break it down. Let's break down the master number 11, which is a spiritual frequency like an antenna, and it's the portal number that symbolizes the two pillars, which is the gateway between the physical and the spiritual world. Now, if those that are in masonry, they understand this as the standing in between the consciousness of Boaz and Jachin. All right, and this is the soul mission, and this is where that is derived from. It's derived from the soul's mission number to wake people up. So it's time for people to wake up. This is that time period where the veil is thin. Now, the number 11 is the 11th house of higher vision. We are in that house as we speak, and it's ruled by Aquarius, and it's the sign of the awakening, truth, and revolution. Now, it's the number it activates the initiation and the activation of what is transpiring in the cosmology. And we're going to let's get into the hidden order of the cosmology as we look deeper into this. And as we do that, we're going to look at the treaties of Isis. And this is Isis speaking, or Isaac mysteries. Now, this is a very old and a very powerful order. Now, this links to what we known as the hidden zodiac and the connection between the government and the Treaty of Isis, which is also, like I said, the Isis speaks in Isaac mysteries, is honoring her that sits right at the crossroad of the astral theology, initiation rituals, and esoteric origins of law and sovereignty. So we're going to unpack this step by step. And this is like the operating system behind the zodiac when you're looking at the apparent understanding of Isis, and is also directly connected to the mysteries of the night sky and the governmental clockwork that nations quietly mirror, and we are governed by this as of today. So Isis is the embodiment of the cosmic feminine principle, which is the divine nine. So when you think of these sororities or fraternities, that is the deification of the feminine principles. All right. And it deals with one who reveals the hidden laws of nature, time, and initiation. Now it says she speaks to Horus. As you can see, this picture depicts Isis holding her son, my son, Horus. Would you say, what is my horoscope? What is Horus' vision? The vision that was given from Mother Isis. And as it say, I am she that is all that has been, is, and shall be, and no mortal have lifted the veil. Let's get into the understanding what she mean by no mortal has lifted the veil. Let's get into that. All right. So when she say, I am she that is all that has been, is, and shall be, and no mortal has lifted my veil, Isis is declaring that she is the cosmic primordial order behind all existence, which means all existence come through the primordial womb of the woman, the womb man, and that the ultimate truth of the universe. So the universe is feminine. All existence come through the creation of the cosmic womb of the universe. And it is concealed behind her veil, and it's a mastery no ordinary human has fully penetrated, that will yet know the fullness of the universe. Now, Isis is depicted as the hidden law. It is night that governs the day, and it's the mother of the zodiac. And it's the sovereign force behind all creation. And in looking at that, we're going to look at the ritual, which is called the black rite, the black ritual of Isis. Now, the black rite of Isis, as you can see, this picture that you see here, being depicted. This is a bus, what you call a bus. Now this is located at the Herbert Hoover National Historic Site in Belgium. Now, as you can see in one of the hands, she is holding a triple flame of past, present, and future. And in the other hand, she's holding a key, and that key is described as an ankh. And in today's society, it's called the ankh of life. It describe in dealing with the ankh of life. So in doing that, the black rite refers to the nocturnal initiation. Now, this is the moment where truth is forged into darkness. This is the ritual where old power dies, new consciousness awaken, and the initiate enters the womb of night, which is Isis. Isis depicted of the night, and the womb of the woman is depicted as the night. And it remerges, reborn into an alignment with the cosmic law. Now, I know I don't want to go too hard into this because this can be a little bit shaken up, right? What I like to do is I was reading and preparing for this after last week episode, and I came across my book. I want to show you this. It's called The Series Mystery, right? So let me take that off real quick. Let's look at this. Let's look at The Series Mystery here. And this book is called The Series Mystery by Robert Temple. And I want to make sure I read this. I want to read something to you so you can have an in-depth understanding. As I said, that this episode is definitely not about astrology, and it's not about numerology. It's about a true understanding of where we are in the hidden, has with information of the cosmology of the astrology that corresponds to cosmology and natural law and governing of society, and how we're under these influences, but we have zero knowledge of how these influences operate within our bodies, our individual bodies. So I want to read this particular excerpt out of the book. It's actually called A Fairy Tale, and it's on page, if you happen to have this book, you can go to page 87 of the book. And this is what Robert Temple wrote in the book. I'm going to read this. All right. It say, we have debased what was once the internal nature of life, channeled by cosmic orientation, a wholeness, to the inverted typicity of skin sensations and retinal discomfort. Our interior body clocks, known as the circadian rhythms, continue to operate inside us, but no contact with the outside world. They therefore become ingrown and frustrated cycles which never interlock with our environment. Now, aren't we dealing with these elements of today where we're dealing with the movement of spring forward and fall backwards, which also is a violation of the circadian rhythm of the body, and there's been misalignments. People have been misaligned, and there's been quick changes in the weather pattern. And I mean, just recently Atlanta experienced a 40-degree drop in degrees in one day. That violates the body as a whole, which means it violates the entire ecosystem of the natural rhythm of all people within the society. And this creates a lot of chaos and confusion as well. All right. So he also said that they therefore become ingrown and frustrated cycles which never interlock with our environment. We are causing ourselves to become meaningless body machines, programmed to what looks in its isolation to be an ordinary set of cycles. Like we're just going around and round and round in a circle, all right? But by tearing ourselves from our context, like the still beating heart ripped out of the body of an Aztec victim, we inevitably do violence to our psyche. So, when you wonder why people are going into mass hysteria, depression, there's an uptick around this time with mass shootings, with unalivings and things of that nature. It's the circadian rhythm of the society has been thrown off as a whole. And he said, I would call the new disease, which is side effects of alienation of the young, dementia temporalis. He said, when I tried to remedy my own total ignorance of this subject, originally I found it an extremely difficult process. I discovered that I was reading coherently explanatory matter, which I understood. Now, he put that understood in quotation. He said, but I did not comprehend. He said, for comprehension consists of understanding from the inside as well as understanding from the outside. He said, things that do not really matter to us or into which we do not imaginatively project our own consciousness remain strange to us. We understand them outside like a man feeling the skin of an orange as you're touching something, but you're not really thinking of the true in-depthness of it. All right. But we have no inherent relationship with the thing, and hence are ultimately divorced from its reality. Like, we don't even think about, where did this come from? Who coated the seed? Who coated the orange? Who coated the apple? Who coated the grapes? Who coated the watermelon? Who coated the kale? We don't seem to get into the thinking and the thankfulness of that. We just go about in a cycle way, and just, with dementia. All right. And he said, this increasingly isolation and alienation is a cultural blight of which there is almost universal complaint in the civilized world, and is yet another consequences of dementia temporalis. He say, for how can you, now this is what really got to me when reading this part, and it's going to really tie into the episode Hidden Zodiac and the government. He said, for how can you get inside anything in the end if you have ceased to be inside your own local universe with the cycles and natural events? So to be outside of nature is to be an outsider in all things. That's the reading from the series Mystery, Robert Temple. All right. So we're going to keep going a little bit deep here. We're going to get into the black rite, the black ritual Isis, which is the cosmology of it all that governs all things. All right. So let's look at this black rite. All right. So the black rite of Isis symbolically honors the night that reveals the stars. The black aspect connects to the night sky where the stars, which is the true calendar, are revealed. It deals with matter, which is mother, the dark womb where spirit incarnates. It deals with hidden wisdom, knowledge accessible only to the initiated, not the awakened. So a lot of times, when you're looking at different podcasts and you have the different levels of the different podcasts, one must ask themselves, what entertains you the most? Something that will have a lower vibrational frequency, or one that will uplift the vibration within to help unlock you and connect you to nature? Because society has been programmed into that of lower frequency and disconnects you from the primordial connection to nature, to source. So, as Robert Temple said, now it makes sense. It said to be outside of nature is to be an outsider in all things. So this is why the people, as the society, has not risen up in their true governance, because being outside of nature in itself. All right. So now the black rite, which is the hidden zodiac in the state, it deals with the hidden rituals of power, that deals with policy timing, financial reset, and state inaugurations, where the hidden zodiac is the unseen celestial or the algorithmic calendar that is guiding the governance. All right. And the governance is, just put the word mental there. Now, Isis, This is the part that is suppressed. It is suppressed, but the enduring principle of the natural order, the cyclical time, the divine justice. It deals with the mother principle behind all law, all itself. This is your paperwork. This is your sovereignty. Understanding this is your sovereignty. All right? That's where it lies. So this deals with the reborn into the alignment with the cosmic law. This is where your sovereignty lies in understanding mother, the principles of nature, cyclical time, and the divine justice. This is where your restoration and your reparation lies at. Let's look at the hidden zodiacs and Isis' role. Isis is the living embodiment of celestial order hidden in matter, which is the body of Isis known as the Zodiac. Now we deal with the Zodiac. We're going to deal with 12 signs. We're going to break down 36 deacons, and we're going to look at the 72 rulers of that. That's all the embodiment that's within you, which is the 12, which are the 12 signs. You have also the 36 deacons within you, and you have the 72 rulers within you. It's how are you governing them? How are you governing your mental? Now, this is the operating system behind the Zodiac. So when you're dealing with this, you're dealing with as above, so below. So if you are on below in this earth plane, you're dealing with the apparent aspects of the operating system, and it's connected to the mysteries of Isis, the night sky, and the governmental clockwork that nations quietly mirror today, right now. Let's get into this. All right. Let's look in that hidden zodiac of the 12 signs. This deals with the great wheel, which is the cosmic departments of the governing houses. As you can see, this is your body. This is what encompasses in your body, and each sign corresponds to a direction in the heavens. And we're not talking about a heaven outside of you. We're talking about a heaven within you. It deals with the natural law, a law of nature. It deals with a psychological force that transfers how you're feeling, your mood, your meeting, your mode. It deals with all that within you. It deals with an archetype, your ego. When you say people have different type of tendencies, people has been classified recently as having narcissistic tendencies, gaslighters, and things of that nature. And it deals with governmental principles as a whole. So we're dealing with from starting with the head of Aries. It deals with the head and the face. This is the beginning of the zodiac cycle. The head that starts March the 21st. And as we go around, you deal with Taurus that deals with the neck, which is the throat chakra. Then you deal with Cancer, which is the breast. Then you go into Vertigo, which is the bowels. Then you go into Scorpio, Lions. You go Capricorn that deals with the knees. Pisces deal with the feet. Aquarius deals with the legs. Sagittarius deals with the thighs. Libra deals with the reins. Libra is the only sign that's not an animated or human or animal object. Libra is a scale that represents control and justice. Where you have Leo is the heart, and Gemini is the arms. And as you go around this cycle for 12 months, when you say 12 months, what type of months we're talking about? We tell 12 solar months. Now you also have a solar cycle and you have a lunar cycle. And lunar is the moon. So let's look at this. Let's look at the hidden zodiac that deals with the 36 deacons, that deals with the spirit of the man. This deals with the spirit clock of the night sky. This deals with the mood. And each sign has 3 10-degree sections, which is 36 deacons. So yeah, you're a lunatic. This is the moon portion. You're a lunatic. And what do these deacons represent? It's the internal gear of the zodiac. It's the internal gear of you. It's the time keeper. Each deacon is ruled by 10 days of the year. Now, it's the gateways of initiation. It's the astral forces that influences magic, prophecies, and healing. When you have those thoughts, that aha moment, when you have that I believe moment, when you have that I am moment, when you have that I can moment, that is the astral force that burns up within you. It also deals with the 36 watchers of the night. Now, the deacons are the micro programming inside each zodiac sign, giving each sign its complexity and the sub favors. Now, we're not going to go all deep in this because this within itself is years of study. You have to get into years of study, and that's what it means by know thyself. So a lot of times you have different organizations that are being belittled by giving forth the secret and the knowledge that's supposed to have been hidden. But we're unveiled. These things have been tried to be unveiled for years. Now, in order to know thyself, they just say you must know nature. You must get back to nature. You must connect back to the divine primordial source. Let's look at the 72 rulers. Now, this is called the cosmic government. Now, each deacon has two rulers or intelligence, making one solar ruler and one lunar or planetary rulers. Now, you have your 36 deacons, time your two rulers in each deacon, and these are what you call your cosmic rulers. Now, what does the 72 represent? Let's look at that. Let's look at what the 72 represents. It represents the full expression of the cosmic intelligence. It represents the micro currents that shape destiny, weather, mood, and politics. This is the 72 forces that governs manifestation, the spiritual bureaucracy of the universe. Now, as we look more closely into this, this is where it gets very powerful when you're talking about the cosmic government of the zodiac. Now, if you bring this down to an earth plane, like I said, each deacon within that, it also deals in the area of how the government rise and fall. 72 nations, it deals with the 72 nations that started in early UN drafts. It deals with 72 processional shift cycles. It deals with 72 seats in several parliaments around the world, 72-hour emergency rule windows, 72 angels in Christian mysticism. Also, it deals with 12-member councils across cultures. So these are the connections when you're talking about dealing with 36 deacons, 12 members of council, and 72 cosmic government. And together they regulate the energy released during their 10-day season. And what does this connect to? What does this connect to? Let's look at what this connects to. This is the sacred math here we're going to get into. The 12 signs. This is sacred math of the governance and the cosmology. And this same cosmology deals with you as well. So the 12 signs, that which has 3 deacons in each sign, it reflects the mind, body, and spirit. That's the operating system. The sacred math, the 360, the full body of man, which is the 36 deacons, when you have 10 degrees in each sign, the 360 circle fullness. So in each deacon, you have 0 to 10 degrees, 10 to 20 degrees, and 20 to 30 degrees. Now, this reflects a complete person, complete man, a complete cycle. This is the full embodiment of the goddess Isis. This is the circle of creation of mother. Let's look at the sacred mouth of governance with the 72 rulers, which are the 36 deacons, times the 2 rulers, 1 solar and 1 lunar. This reflects duality, day and night, masculine and feminine, solar and lunar, matter and spirit. What are we doing here? Let's see how we're getting here. How is this black rite, this ritual embodied in government? You have to make this connection. If you're disconnected from nature, you're disconnected from yourself. Let's look at how this is in the government that we see today. The public government that has been, the people has transferred to handle the affairs of the people. Let's look at that. What you see here is a ceremony that took place at the season during the winter solstice energy. And you see the Congress. So let's look how the winter solstice and the black light, black right, all shape up. Now, as we're about to approach into that same season, let's look how the government utilized that energy. The winter solstice is the longest night and the return of the sun. So this portion is when it marks the cosmic movement where darkness reaches its maximum, equal day, equal night. And then during that time period, solstice stand for sun stand still because it has the appearance of the equal day and equal night. But as you can see here of the picture, you'll see where it's not actual equal, because on the Tropic of Cancer, the hour of darkness is about 13.5 hours. And at the Tropic of Capricorn, which is at the lower part of the below the equator, you only have 10.5 hours of darkness. So it has the apparent motion of equal day, equal night. So that's what the word winter salt, that's what sun stands still at. Now, as the sun continue to fall into its darkness, full darkness, on December the 25th, the sun has its first peek back out of that darkness, which is called Christmas. That's where the origin of Christmas is derived from, the rising of the sun. Now, that's when the light begins to rise again and the new sun, sun, is born. This is what is called an annual reset of power that is being harnessed. This is the core meaning of the black rite, the hidden initiation performed in the darkest hour before the return of the sun. All right, let's go ahead and put this up. Let's go ahead and put our overlay up here. Continue to like, share, and subscribe over on our YouTube page at Just Another Messenger. Don't forget to subscribe to our X channel at JAM _404 podcast. And if you or someone you know would like to be a part of the show, send a friendly email to Just Another Messenger podcast at gmail.com. And continue to support the channel through our Cash App at $ Just Another Messenger. I know there's a lot of information, but this information must be understood. As I said earlier in our broadcast, this episode is not about astrology and numerology alone. It's about the hidden space that the indigenous people that has been labeled Negro, Black, Colored, African American, and all other racial construct has unknowingly endured for hundreds and maybe thousands of years. This is that hidden space that has now, the veil must be rendered in order for people to rise, awaken to new beginnings and not remain in the darkness. The ritual must be performed. So as the light returns after the deepest dark, the solstice is aligned with the mythic calendar of Isis, which is the night, the womb, the black rite, which is matter and mother. Horus, the reborn light, which is the SON, and where the Christian mysticism derived Christianity, from the rebirth of the SON and then it moved the matriarchal, it's disconnected from mother, which is the understood the primordial mother of the SUN. Now, Osiris's represent the dead king resurrected through knowledge, which is the Pater, Father. So this is what is known as the Trinity in Christian mysticism: Mother, Father, Son. So we must come out of the darkness into the light. This is the ritual where old power dies, as I said, new consciousness awaken. The initiate enters the womb of night, which is Isis, which is the understanding of the divine law, the cosmic womb, and emerges reborn into alignment of the cosmic law. We must get in tune with nature, people. We must get in tune. We must get in tune with the cosmology law, divine law. All that is our sovereignty. That is the reparation of it all. Let's look at the black right in the Bill of Rights, because I said this is the same governance, the black right is governance that goes on today in the government cycle. Now, the Bill of Rights was ratified on December the 15th, 1791. Then I say Winter Solstice is December the 21st. Yes, but it still carries that same energy signal. Now, this is just days before the Winter Solstice. Now, the Bill of Rights represents a political solstice movement. So they utilize that energy, a rebirth of liberty, the restoration of individual sovereignty. This is a protection of natural rights against the British Empire. And it also was a declaration of a guaranteed of light against governmental darkness. As you can see, this picture, it depicts the liberty, which is Venus. Statue of Liberty is a personification of Venus, the light bearer, Lucifer, the light bearer. So Ben Franklin and the other framers are embracing Lucifer, the light bearer, Venus, the great morning star that bring forth the light to the people. Now, this winter solstice energy is a rebirth of light after darkness. Is baked into the philosophical timing of that amendment, the Bill of Rights, that still holds that energy today. But however, the usurpation takes place through the racial construct and now the molestation of divine sovereignty. Now let's look at a return of sovereignty. The Bill of Rights is the political version of the black right. It is the moment where sovereignty returns after oppression. It is the rebirth of the European Slavic people's light. It is the restoration of divine law after man's tyranny from King James. This is why the Bill of Rights is not a list of permission. It is a rebirth document. And rebirth belongs to the solstice cycle and to Isis. Now, this is what the 10 days of darkness represented. In Egyptian law, they saw that the 10 laws last before the solstice as the hardest part of the black rite. This is was the hardest part of the initiation. And this is where the days where the initiate purifies before the light returns, which means you must go into a period of fasting, manifestation, and things of that nature. There must be a ritual to take place to prepare yourself to go into any type of covenant. Now, the Bill of Rights contain the 10 amendments. Now, each one is limiting darkness from government overreach and restoring the light to the individual darkness. But however, they added in a usurpation against a people that they didn't feel was worthy to be a part of a healthy, balanced society. And that is a violation of divine law. And that's why you see the apparent elements of wars taking place. Because the number 10 is the number of completion before rebirth. See, what you build on, it must be a solid foundation. If not, it would not stand until the end of time. It would eventually fall. All law dictates it must be entered with clean hands. It's not going to, so you can't get an equitable response out of that. And that's why nations has failed over years, because of not having clean hands. And one of the most dirtiest hands that you can have is usurping someone else's will. So let's look at these Bill of Rights that we're talking about. Number 1, freedom of speech, religion, press, assembly, and petition. Number 2, right to bear arms. Number 3, quartering of soldiers. Number 4, arrests and searches. Number 5, rights of persons accused of crime, which means you have a right to face your accuser. You have a right to be innocent until proven guilty. Number 6, rights of persons on trial for crimes. Now, when you look at elements of crime, the elements of crime is defined as murder or injury to someone. All others are financial debt infractions. Number 7, jury trials in civil cases. Number 8, limitations against on bail and punishment. Number 9, rights kept by the people. Your divine rights, any type of cultural rights that you see fit to honor, those are not to be leaned upon. They're not to be subject to any statute, codes, or ordinance. Just as they, the Slavic Europeans, ran, like I said, they wanted a rebirth of the European Slavics people liked, because they wanted the restoration of divine law after man's tyranny. Isn't that what's taking place today? People are crying for a restoration of balance of law as they appear to be under tyrannical forces. And number 10, powers kept by the states or the people. So these are the Bill of Rights that are still in effect today, that are from divine law. Now, the esoteric architect of this is the winter solstice is light returns and order is restored. Whereas the black right of Isis is sovereignty is awakened after the darkness. Now, in order to wake sovereignty, you must come out of the darkness. Whereas the Bill of Rights, the people reclaim their divine rights after oppression. This is the exact same pattern. This is the hidden zodiac that's in the government today. It's in the cosmos, in the temples, and in the government. So the bigger picture here, this is the battle over sovereignty. Individual sovereignty, or continuation of foreign sovereignty, or financial sovereignty. This is where the battle is taking place. So tonight, we've seen how the zodiac hides in plain sight, etched into law, economy, and the myth of progress. Where the winter solstice crowns the authority, Venus at the midheaven controls the image, Passover, Moon ignites the liberation, and every calendar we obey keeps the same pulse, the sky. So the government may try to attempt to regulate the clocks by falling back and springing forward. But the cosmos regulates the consequences. So what must we do, people? We must get into it. We must learn the pattern. And you take back your timing, your circadian rhythm. So until then, you must stay curious, stay sovereign, and never forget that as above, so below. But only if you let them make it so. If tonight's truth resonated with you, share it. Share it. Share the information. Subscribe and continue to support independent investigation through our Cash App at $ just another messenger. Because truth, like the stars, it deserves to shine freely and not be censored. Return to the Black Rite. The Black Rite is not just a ritual you attend. It's a truth that you recognize to know thyself. So your initiation begins the moment you realize that power is cosmic, and so are you. Coming soon, we have fine print. We're going to get into the understanding of the contracts. We're building that out. That should be coming soon. Look out for that. Also, continue to shop our Etsy store at justanothermessenger.etsy.com. And yes, we are going to go live next Wednesday, but the Wednesday before we give thanks before the last harvest, we're not going to be live that week. We're not going to be live. I'm going to take off that week of before we give thanks for the last harvest of this cycle season, because we have some work to do. So tune in next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget, as I said, continue to support the alternative outlet through our Cash App at $ just another messenger. Continue to shop at our store at justanothermessenger.etsy.com. And if you or someone you know would like to be a part of the show, send a friendly email to justanothermessengerpodcast@gmail.com. Yes, I want to thank you for tuning in. Thank each and every last one of you for tuning in this evening. And I hope that you reset your circadian rhythm to get connected back to that which is governing us. Until then, have a good evening. See you then.
Yo, tuned in, it's that time again. Welcome to the show under the bright zen. Just another messenger bringing the news with the beat in your soul. Let's light up these views. We're diving deep, no time for snooze. Grab your headphones, let me share the clues. In a world so loud, where voices collide, we find the rhythm, let the truth be our guide. Hit that play button, feel the vibe. Every second counts, let's take that ride. From stories untold to laughs we share. Just another messenger, we're always there. Hi. It's a jam, just sit back and unwind. With our flow and our style, it's one of a kind. Like the mix, just like a DJ spins. We serve you the truth where the journey begins. It's a jam, we're all in this together. Sound waves linking us, no matter the weather. Just another messenger, we keeping it tight. With every single drop, we rise and ignite. Yeah.